So we were implementing the model, right, using Mongoose to be able to store data permanently in a database, right? So what we want to be able to do is listen for incoming requests to be able to store things in the database. So for instance, we'd like to be able to say that if I get a post that looks something like /API /evening /movie, then I'd like to create a movie. Okay, right? So I can create an API for this, right? This allows me to create a movie. I can create all sorts of getters to be able to retrieve movies by title or by ID, or be able to update movies or delete or remove movies, right? So let's do this, right? So here I'm going to be listening for an incoming post that allows me to create a movie, right? Actually, you know what? We already have inserted several movies. We can already create a get, right? That allows us to retrieve all the movies. How's that? Let's do that. So find all movies. Okay? Right? And how would we implement that? We could do the following, right? Let's comment this out. Right? We would implement this find all movies by going here and saying function find all movies is participating in the request response, and it's going to use movie model, right, to find all the movies and listen for a response from the server with the list of all the movies, and we're just going to send that back to the client, whoever asked for it. We can say response send back all the movies, right? Notice that it's waiting for the app. We never passed it in, so let's change that in the server. So on the server, we need to pass it the express instance right here. There it is. So let's restart that and try to hit that get request, this URL right here, right? So let's go back to the client here, to the browser. Let's paste that. And it's not working. What? Oh, right. It's localhost 4000, right? And then API movie. There we go. We get an array with both movies, right? Makes sense. How about if I want a particular movie, right? I would have another getter that would allow me to provide the ID of the movie or movie ID, and this will be find movie by ID. Right? And we can implement that right here as a function. Find movie by ID. We're going to retrieve the ID, the movie ID, from the path parameter, right? From the request params movie ID. Okay, and this is going to use another API in movie model, something like find movie by ID, providing the ID that we're grabbing from the path parameter, right? Once we retrieve it, we can then send it back. We can send back the movie. We can send it back to as a response, JSON. Oops, response JSON movie. Can't type. Okay, so if we restart the server, right, and grab one of these IDs and provide it here as a path parameter, we can see that it doesn't work. Wait, what? What happened here? Find by ID. Sorry, find by ID. Let's start over. So we refresh. We get that one ID, right? That one movie, right? Or if we don't provide the ID, we get all of them, right? Following in the theme of RESTful web services. Everybody okay? Right? All the other ones, the posts, the puts, the deletes, we can't do that from the URL field, right? We need to create code that does that, right? So let's create a quick Angular application that allows us to do that. So let's go into public and to lectures, and let's create another lectures directory here. So lectures on Wednesday, and let's create a directory under here, and we'll call it Mongo, and under Mongo we're going to say movies, Mongo movies. And let's put an input index field, index file here, where we're going to load the Angular library. So this will be script source up 3 times. We're going to go down. Nope. Wait, too far? Not far enough? What? Where are you? We're down here, right? We're going to go up 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Where is what? Oh, okay. There we go. Vendor. What do we have under there? Oh, that's jQuery. Okay, so we'll just have here Angular. There's Angular. Okay. Let's also load Bootstrap. So link href and go up again 3 times, and then down to Bootstrap. All right. So let's have here div class container fluid, and in here we'll have h1 movies. And let's have a little form here that says an input field that is a title and is a form control, and we're going to tie it to a model of a movie, model.movie.title. Okay, we can type in the name of the movie. Yes? And we'll have a button here that if we click it, we want to tell the local controller that we are create movie, and we'll pass as argument model.movie. Yes? And this is a button, and this is a button block, so it takes up the entire width of the screen, and it's a primary, so it's blue. And the title will be Create Movie. Make sense? All right? And the application is called, ng app is called movie app, and it's going to be implemented in the script app.js in the same directory, and this div is going to be controlled by a controller called movie controller. Okay? Right? That locally I am going to refer to it using the variable model. So not movie controller B, I'm going to refer to it as model everywhere else in my HTML. Yes? All right, so let's create a little app here. So a little app, let's make sure that we can navigate there. Let's see, where is it? We said that it's going to be under lectures dash Wednesday, Mongo, and then movies. Okay, we're in the right place, right? So let's create app. So this will be app.js, and let's implement a simple Angular application, Angular module called movie app that is going to have a controller called movie controller implemented in a function of the same name. Here's the function, and var vm equal this, and it's going to have an event handler called create movie that is going to be implemented in a function of the same name down here that we're going to call, wait, what's this? Oh, is gonna take as arguments the actual movie, and we're gonna presumably send it over to the server for storage. Yes. So let's do a console log movie. See if we have it. Movie. So let's do a console. See if we have it. Uh-oh, what's going on here? A movie app is not available. What? Oh, did I miss something here? Okay, not complaining. So if we type something here and we say create, indeed we're getting that in the controller, right? So we're going to send it over to the server using the HTTP service, and the service is waiting for what? It's waiting. We want to send over this this post, right, to create the movie. So we're going to say post, and the URL is going to be something like API. What is it? Evening, right? Evening movie. Evening movie, and we're going to send the movie object over. Yes? Right? Okay. So if we do that, and if we create, if we refresh, and we type something, create movie, notice that it's complaining that on the server there's nobody listening for that post. Okay. So let's see. So we need to go back to the server and implement that post, right? That's going to look for post, same URL, and it's going to do a create movie. And that movie, that function, we're going to implement it right here. We're going to say function create movie, and we're going to extract the movie object from their body, right? And we're going to insert it into the database using create, right? And we're going to pass movie, and if everything is good, we're going to respond with the brand new object we just created. All right, we're going to send it back. Otherwise, we're going to send back a status, send status 400, and send back the error. Okay, we're going to send back the error if something went wrong. Yes. But in the movie model? This is not one that we've defined. Yeah, no, this is the built-in Mongo. Yeah, I'm not creating a model layer for this. I'm doing a quick and dirty example.
And so the built-in create returns the promise and can also take a callback function.
Yes.
But the promise is like the best practice.
Yes. Right? Yep. Especially if you're gonna have if you have lifecycle dependencies, right, or relationships where you have to insert here, but also you need to update there, right? You're gonna end up with many callbacks, one inside of another.
And so that the find stuff don't return promises. So
They do. What do you mean?
No, the find method don't return promises.
Yeah, find. Who are you using? Yeah, no, the new version of MongoDB deprecated this promise API. So we're going to introduce the Q library, and we're going to use the there's a couple more libraries that you can use instead of this library. Yep. I just didn't want to introduce too many libraries at once. All right. So and also this code is still you find it out there still in the industry very widely. Okay. So I'm returning this the create movie. So let's do that. Let's now restart the server. Yes. Yep.
Is there any way for us to test our error callbacks?
The
Like that one says it's 400, but like I don't know how to test that. It's just like if the mongoose thing fails, it's like I can't make the dependency fail.
yes. So yeah, stop the database.
Okay, that makes sense. Are
Um,
you ready?
Right, right, and then you would create a unit test where you would inject, right, the service in between this, right? You would mock the server. You would mock the server to return the. I'm sorry. What?
The unit tests aren't graded, so we don't.
Yeah, no unit test, no unit test grading. I've been thinking about it, adding how to add karma and Jenkins in here. Anyway, so right, so we're going to create the movie, and so let's restart the server. Let's go back and let's do reset this. Let's do an insert, and something went wrong. Oh, there it is, a bad request. What is it saying here? Did it go in here? Body. Let's see. What's it complaining about? Bad request. Preview. Bad request. Am I sending the object? We sent the title. Let me see what we're receiving here. Console log movie. Let's refresh. Let me send that again. Oh, it's the empty object issue that we were looking at earlier, right? Remember that? Yeah, no, we need to add a couple things here to encode the JSON in the correct format. Yeah, I know. I think you have a newer version of Angular. I'm using an older version of Angular. Yeah, I'm getting old, huh? So let's see. Yeah, no, you don't need to do this. Let's see. The controller, we need to configure it. Let's configure it right here. .config. Configuration, right here is going to say function, configuration, and the provider. So this is basically, you can override the way that certain MIME types get encoded. We're saying here that all posts, right, are going to use the contents type of application JSON, right? We can override that. So if we refresh and start this again and create, okay, this time it didn't complain, and the response is the actual object that was created. See that with the correct ID, right? Notice that the created timestamp is there, and we can check to see in the movies. There it is, our ASDF movie there. See that? All right, so it is being inserted. The next thing is that we want to be able to do is, once we've created something, inserted something, we'd like to be able to retrieve it back from the client, right? So in the let's go back to the controller. Where is the controller? Let's see. It's it's under here, right? We created the controller right here. What we like to do is that when it starts, right at the beginning, right, the very first thing that we want to do is retrieve all the movies, right? So we could say, hey, find all movies, right? Find all movies. And find all movies is going to be implemented right here. Oops. Okay. Which is going to do a get, HTTP get, which I think the server is already listening for that, right? And I think it's right. Let's see, where is this? No, that's not it. That's not right either. Let's see, on the server, it's listening. It's already listening at this get. See that right here, this URL. So we can use that. We can reuse that URL and send that request to the server. The server eventually will come back with a response with all the movies, and what we're going to do is going to send that over to the template for rendering, right? We can say vm.movies equal movies, right? And then we can then on the template side, in the templates, right, we can iterate that. We can say display here all the movies, model.movies. Okay, so if we refresh, notice that we get an array of all the movies. See that? There's all our movies down below. But we can iterate over that. We can say use a UL, a class of lists group, right? And in here we can do an li of class list group item and display here movie.title, right? And we're going to iterate over all the movies in the list of movies. So ng repeat this line item for every movie in model.movies, right? So there we go. So we have Avatar, Terminator 2, and ASDF, right? Okay, so there you go. So we can fetch all the movies. How about being able to remove a movie, right? When we remove a movie, we might want to add a link here at the on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, with an X that allows us to remove us. So something like glyphicon and glyphicon delete or remove. Remove. Do I have remove? Yeah, X. Right. So that's an X right next to it. We're going to send it over to the left. So we say pull to the right. Right. So it's way on the right-hand side. And if we click it, we want to notify the controller that we want to remove, delete movie, and we're going to pass the ID of the movie that we want to remove, _ID, right? So back on the controller, we can listen for that incoming event, vm.delete movie, that we're going to implement down here. Function delete movie is going to receive the movie ID, right? And to notify the server, we're going to generate a delete. So http.delete, right? And pass in the API movie plus the ID of the movie that follows, right? So / movie ID, right? And let's see. If we try to do that, we click on it, notice that the server complains saying that there is nothing mapped, there's no delete action mapped to that URL, right? So we need to go back to the server and implement that. So let's copy that and let's map it to a delete. And this will be called delete movie. Oops. Right? That is going to be implemented right here. Request response. We're going to retrieve the movie ID from the parameters, right? So request dot params movie ID, and then use movie model to actually delete or remove the movie by ID. So _ID matches movie ID. And when we're good, we're going to respond with the status, right? Notice that the removal and the updates, they don't return objects, right? They don't return the data. They return a status information. How many records were removed, how many objects were updated, right? So this is good. We're going to send back a status 200, right? Everything went okay. Or a 400 if something went wrong. So if we restart the server and we go back here and we refresh and say we want to remove this, it didn't complain. Oh, but it looks like it's pending. Oh, it's pending. Huh. Did we not respond? I thought we responded with 200. Did I restart the server? Let me see. Oh, it was removed. I'm sorry? Like a server error? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, yep. So if there's an error here, right, let's return a send status 500, and let's send back the error message. Wait, it was removed, didn't it? Let's try it again. Oh, still says pending. Why is it pending? I'm sorry? Oh, send 200, not status 200. Thank you. Huh? Yes, send 200. So send is smart enough to know that it can be a status or an object or whatever, right? Depending on what you pass it. So send 200 is the same thing as saying send status 200. Yeah, yeah. Send is really, really overloaded. It knows how to send all sorts of things. Okay, so let's try one more time. Remove terminator, and it came back okay. Very good. But notice that it's empty, but the list didn't update immediately, right? Even though we had removed it. So typically you want to see the list be updated immediately. So let's create a couple more movies. So movie 1, 2, 3. Notice that even there, right, it's not being updated immediately. I have to like refresh to go fetch again from the server. Movie 2, 3, 4, right? Ideally, what we want to do is when we send something, we want feedback immediately, right? So what we could do is that in this create, we could have a success here, success, and in the success, right, we can say we could use find all movies as a callback. See that? Meaning, if it's successful, go fetch all the movies again, right? So that I get the list of movies immediately. And same thing when I delete a movie, right after deleting the movie, right, go fetch the new list of movies from the server. You could introduce caching. Angular provides some caching mechanisms. It will intercept your URLs, yes, and if it has the data for that URL already cached in the database in the cache, it will use that object. If it doesn't, it will go out to the server and fetch it. Here we're not using caching. Right, so it's always going to the server to retrieve data, right? So the server is always the source of truth, right? The server always has the latest information. Okay, whenever in doubt, go to the server, right, to fetch the data. So if I create here a movie 345, notice that it gets updated immediately, right? Or if I remove, notice that it gets re-updated immediately because I will go back to the server and re-update it. But notice there's no refreshing of the page, right? There's no reloading of the page. I'm always in the same page, right? It's a very common thing in single page application, right? Even though that I'm going to the server back and forth, the page always stays without reloading. All right, so what about being able to update existing instances, right? So say I want to be able to update, so let's add an additional hyperlink that if I click on it, right, I want to represent it maybe as a cog, right, and if I click on it, I want to select the movie, meaning go fetch me that movie because I want to edit the cast, the poster, the plot, the director, the rating. I want to edit a whole bunch of things. In this case, we're only going to edit the title. But if there were many different things that I want to edit, I want to go fetch the entire object, right? Populate the form so that you can edit it. So I'm going to go fetch it. And so if I refresh, I have the cog right there. If I click on it, the controller will, let's implement select movie, is going to go fetch that movie, right? We're going to say function select movie is going to receive as argument the movie ID, and it's going to go and fetch the movie by ID. So it's going to go get the movie by ID, and on success is going to render the movie. Okay, right? So this will be something like function render movie, and we have movie here. And our rendering is trivial enough that it's just vm.movie equal movie, right? That's it, right? And notice that this get is already implemented. We implemented it earlier, right? We implemented this one, maps to this one right here. See that? It's this mapping right here, API evening movie ID right here, which retrieves the movie by ID. So it's already implemented. So hopefully this should work already. So So if I refresh and I click on notice that if I click on one of these or the other one, notice that the input field, right, gets updated with that object that I retrieve, or whatever form I might have for updating this, right? So I need an extra button here for updating. So let's add in the index file. Let's add maybe another button that allows us to actually update the object. So this will be something like update the movie, and I'll pass the entire movie object, and I'll color it green. Okay, and this will be update movie. Update movie. If I refresh, there it is, right? So I have update movie, and in the controller, I'm going to listen for an incoming update movie implemented in a function of the same name that receives the entire movie object, and it's going to send an HTTP put, right? Following the theme of RESTful APIs, and the same URL. I'm going to say that I'm going to update that movie, well, it has movie underscore ID, that particular movie, and here are the new movie information, including plot, director, rating, whatever, title, and when it's successful, what should happen? I want the new list of movies because the title might have changed, right? So I need to update my list below. So my success is going to go find all the movies again. Notice that it's not find movies with a, I'm not going to call it, right? Immediately, it's going to be called when it's successful. It's going to invoke that function. Yes? All right, so if I do this and I retrieve that movie and I change it and I say update, notice that it complains saying there is no put. Right? There's no such URL. So let's go back to the server and let's do that. Right? So let's copy this. Let's change it to a put. It has a movie ID and it's going to do an update movie. Right? So let's implement that down here. Right? That's going to receive request and response. It's going to extract the ID from the parameters. Right? And it's going to extract the new movie from the body. Right? And then we're going to update it. We're going to say movie model dot update, and the criteria for retrieving that particular movie will be that the ID matches movie ID. Movie ID, and I want to set. I can set just a few things. I can say set, right? If I want to just change the title, I can just say title and then movie.title. Or say the user changed a whole bunch of things, right? I can change them one at a time. Rating, movie.rating, right? Only the few things that I want to change, right? Following a particular rule, business rule that I might want. Or say, they changed 30 fields, right? I could just say set, because notice the schema. What does this schema look like? It looks like the exact schema that the object that I sent you, and that you're just sending me back, right? You're just sending me back that image, right? Object. So guess what? The object movie already has those attributes, right? And it'll pattern match and say I'll change the title to whatever title this is, right? Whatever rating this is. This might fail. Let me try it. Try it. It depends on the version of the Mongo version that I have. Let me change this. Update. Pending. Oh, I never responded. Sorry, I never responded. So this will be dot then function, and this will be the status. And I'm just gonna respond with a 200 if everything went okay. Otherwise, I'm going to send, if there's an error, I'm going to respond send status 500, and we send back the error message. Let's see. Let's restart. Select this. Updates. Okay, it updated it. Right? It updated it. It didn't complain. If depending what version you have of MongoDB, for instance, one of the problems is that one of the attributes in here is _ID. Yes? So different versions of MongoDB will complain and say, no, you can't change the primary key, right? So you can't have the _ID as part of this object, right? So one way to fix that is you can delete from the movie object, just delete movie _ID. So remove that one property, right? So that Mongo won't complain, saying that you're trying to change the primary key. Make sense? We didn't need to do that. I guess my version is a little newer. Okay, that makes sense. Right. So we were able to create, delete, update movies. All right. All right. I think we were able to do all the CRUD operations.